Remember when Kobe Bryant got in trouble all those years ago with that lady in Denver at the hotel? Remember that? Y'all, how about the lady that the coroner, not the coroner, but the medical examiner for Colorado, because I think that happened to him in Colorado, Denver, Colorado, right? The medical examiner that examined the woman that said Kobe raped her is going to jail, y'all. And what she did is putting everything into question that she's ever done. Okay, so I have to show y'all this story. I hope y'all are ready for it. But she's the top DNA expert in Colorado. And her ass is grass. She's going to jail. Okay, she's going to jail. Let me say what's up to everybody that's donated. Hey, what's up, Square Biz? It's good to see you. Better parents may have changed their trajectory. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I used to get assistance. It wasn't Section 8, but I used to get peach care for my son when I had a restaurant and I couldn't afford my own health insurance. So he was on peach care for about 1.5 years. And then when the restaurant started making me some money, I went out and I got Obamacare for the whole entire family. But there are things that you might find that you need for your child or for yourself as you're like growing up in life, early in your adulthood, or maybe even later. You know, like I get that people fall on hard times and might need help. I totally understand that. It's the abuse. And then it's the lack of accountability when you're not doing what you're supposed to do, but you expect for everybody to honor what they're supposed to do. That really just kills me. Thank you so much for being here, Square Biz. Thank you, Uncle Ricky, for my $1.99 super chat. He says, who's selling stamps? Hey, Red, what's up? Ain't nobody selling stamps over here, okay? And Lee Turner, thank you again for your congratulations to me on my 1 year being monetized. Frederick, thank you for putting those good vibes out there for 40K. Mr. Walker, my brother from another mother, thank you for the $10 super chat and for being a member for 12 months and for reminding me that it is my 1 year monetization anniversary. Lee Turner, my A1 from day one with the jewels. Pooh Man, always having my back, giving me a congratulations and $2 super chat. Thank you so much. And brother Noomsy, $10. Thank you for the 10 jewels of my little floating hearts. Y'all know I love hearts. Okay. Again, for my flower, brother Noomsy. Thank you, Jay Tillman, for gifting a Smell the Roses membership and helping my garden grow. I appreciate you so much. I'll be listening to your channel later when I draw my hot bath to relax. Jay, you can always drop your links in the chat for your music channel. My crowd is definitely all about, you know, those kind of vibes. So you're in good company here. And all of you all, definitely, if you've got a channel, you want to push it, you want people to come, I do not mind you all putting your information out on my in my chat room. Okay, I don't know who this is. Bitch, you shouting out all day. Okay, all right. These are my people, so I'm going to shout them out, and I'm going to shout you out too, Aruna Sawal, or whatever your name is. Happy to see you. Calm down. Have a seat. Okay, don't get banned. Okay, because these people don't play about me, and I don't play about them. What's up? Hi, funny, haha. What's up? It's good to see you. Okay, so this next video. All right, let's get to it. Y'all gonna like this. Y'all gonna like this. Y'all gonna be like, this bitch. Okay, so this one comes from one of my favorite YouTube channels. This one is Nate the Lawyer. I love him so much. You guys are going to be like, what the hell? All right, let's get started. Let me turn it.
Faking the results to get people convicted.
An internal investigation found Yvonne Missy Woods manipulated data and posted incomplete test results in criminal cases.
Forensic scientist who worked on multiple high-profile cases, like Kobe Bryant's sexual assault investigation, could be forcing thousands of retrials.
Then she was arrested and was facing something like 100 felony counts.
A former state forensic scientist is now facing dozens of criminal charges after she was accused of manipulating data in more than 1,000 cases. Yvonne Missy Woods is in Jefferson County Jail tonight facing 102 felonies.
So we have a major update on the story. Let's talk about it. This is Yvonne Missy Woods. She was a former forensic scientist at the Colorado Bureau of Investigations, commonly known as CBI, and she worked there for 29 years, from January 1994 to November 2023. Now, Yvonne Missy Woods is a 29-year veteran of the state's crime lab. She's considered one of the best and most trusted DNA analysts in the country. Her work has essentially never been questioned. Now, the state of Colorado started random audits of the crime lab's work. After a routine audit, the crime lab found some anomalies in some of the DNA evidence.
Sure, we were first notified, we being the elected district attorneys here in Colorado, that the Colorado Bureau of Investigation had identified these anomalies in this forensic scientist's work. We were first notified on November 6th of 2023. And of course, our first thought was, she has worked on thousands upon thousands of cases in Colorado. What's the scope of this? What's the impact going to be on our pending cases and past cases that we've obtained convictions in?
I mean, have you ever seen something like this before? How shocking and wide-reaching is this?
This is beyond anything that I think any of us have ever seen.
Remember when NBA star Kobe Bryant was arrested for sexual assault in Colorado? Well, Yvonne Missy Woods is the DNA tech who handled that particular case. She was the one who identified Kobe Bryant's DNA at the scene. And if Missy Woods had been faking results all this time, then that brings into question cases like the Kobe Bryant case. So now the crime lab had to notify both the prosecution and all these defendants that this was going on and that some of the evidence could be compromised.
In a letter to district attorneys on Monday, the current director of CBI told them the agency might have information about Woods that could affect her credibility in court. According to the letter, there were anomalies in her work. The director wrote CBI is not only compiling a list of cases Woods may have worked on, but also finalizing plans to prioritize and retest cases.
Now, after the news came out that this DNA tech was possibly manipulating data, jeopardizing cases, defense attorneys started filing lawsuits to get their clients out of prison.
Yvonne Missy Woods. She was the lead scientist in charge of analyzing DNA for the trial.
Well, I think that was the reason he was convicted. Because they were saying there was DNA evidence putting him at the crime scene.
Missy Woods, in Hunter's case, is now under investigation. Days before filing the lawsuit, Burden learned CBI found anomalies in her work.
So when people use terms like anomalies, it's a cute way of hiding what she was doing. Okay, so and BAP works. I bet you are 110% correct that they used AI, and AI initially caught the anomalies, but then when they went in and did extra digging, they probably saw that maybe it was dog DNA, maybe it was cat DNA, maybe she used DNA from her dog or from her cat or from a cigarette butt in her apartment complex, from the same person over and over and over and over again. You see what I'm saying? Like, what is the anomaly? The anomaly has to be that something doesn't match, or something matches too many other things, right? Like, I'm thinking like with my policy brain, with my, because I'm very hyper focused on the details. People love to put things in front of me because I can automatically tell you what's wrong, whether it's the font, the spacing, or just certain words don't belong. Like I can tell you that this is weird. And this is like before AI. Now AI helps me do this faster, but like this would be something that I would be like, wait a minute, to one of my scientists, like, why do we keep seeing monkey DNA when we're testing on humans? Like, that's weird. So that could be an anomaly. I'm just deducing. Like, they're telling us, but they're not telling us at the same time. So the word anomaly is a great word to use because it covers so many fucked up things. So this guy is smart. He's like, this lady put one of my clients in prison, and if her ass is a liar, then she can't be trusted. You need to let my client out of prison. So good for him.
It gave us more impetus and it validated our suspicions.
A court dismissed Hunter's case initially, the lawsuit says, after Woods incorrectly identified the victim's hairs as Hunter's. 10 months after the crime, new evidence of hair surfaced.
What led to a conviction was a hair follicle that was given to CBI somehow.
The lawsuit is demanding for all
a hair follicle that was given to CBI somehow. So what is this lady doing? What is she doing? Is she going into like when you get arrested, they take your stuff like your phone and your other items and they put it into an evidence bag? What is she? Well, not an evidence bag, but a property bag, because it's not evidence. Your phone isn't evidence when they lock you up. I mean, depending on what you did. Okay. But usually they drop everything that's in your pocket into a property bag and then they put it in a property locker. So what is she doing? Going to the property lockers and like pulling hair off of clothes or t-shirts, like crazy. I wonder what she did. Like, I'm really gonna follow this up. Like, this is crazy.
Logical evidence to be handed over so it can be retested.
And my other question is, how many other people are in prison based on irregular evidence?
So now, after an initial review by the state, it says that evidence in about 3,000 cases may need to be retested at a cost of $7 million to taxpayers.
The CBI now estimating about 3,000 cases are going to need retesting. All this after learning about anomalies surrounding one investigator who'd worked with the Bureau for 29 years. The retesting could end up costing the state millions of dollars. It's Missy Woods that is under criminal investigation after someone found these so-called anomalies in her work. She is no longer an employee of the Bureau. CBI thinks about 3,000 cases are going to need to be retested by a third-party lab.
All right, give me a second to pay some bills. This is a paid advertisement for Rumble Wallet. They are sponsoring this portion of the show.
You,
now, let me clear something up. Rumble Wallet is not a cash in your debit card, credit, even do viewers. Now, listen carefully because this offer is limited to the first 200 restrictions in terms of details. Again, this was a paid app, 3,000 cases, and here's what they found.
CBI says it's finished reviewing the caseload of a former DNA analyst who's accused of manipulating data over the course of her nearly 30-year career. An update posted to CBI's website shows the review of every single case that Missy Woods was involved in that's been completed. The agency has now identified just over 1,000 impacted cases. An internal affairs investigation started in October of last year and found Woods purposefully deleted data.
So now they've reviewed the cases, they've seen the problems, and they decided to charge this former CBI analyst with over 100 crimes.
102 charges related to 58 cases of.
I wonder, like, why don't people like this ever make it to Anton Daniels? Why don't like you never? Why isn't like, you know? Like when other people do shit like this, you know, you would rather drag Kobe Bryant for filth because he's another black man. It's so easy to like punch down. But this is a white woman. She did this to over 3,000 people for over 29 years. And I bet it's more than 3,000. I just think they're trying to temper it down a little bit because they don't want everybody in the state of Colorado to come down onto their heads. Okay, but 3,000 people is a lot. That is a lot of people to be lying about DNA. Okay,
alleged criminal misconduct dating back to 2008. According to the arrest affidavit, dozens of agencies around the state are involved. Some of the cases involved are serious and high-profile cases like numerous homicides, sexual assaults, robberies, burglaries, and even sexual assaults and trafficking involving children, all of which our legal analyst points out rely heavily on DNA data in court. CBI estimated the cost of Woods' alleged misconduct is a whopping $11 million. Woods is currently being held on a $50,000 bond. Her first court appearance will be tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Missy Woods was a
I want to know, like, how, like, when they sit down and they ask her, like, how did you determine how you were going to go about, saying that this person was the guy? Like, was it because you didn't like him? Was it, I want to know the demographics of the people. That's the other thing, right? How did you come up with this formula that you use to lie on these people? And then what is the demographic of the people she lied on? Were they white people? Were they Black people? Were they Hispanic people? Were they Asian people in Colorado? Is she married? These are all like some questions that I just have for this crazy lady. But yeah, $50,000, that's it. That's like a small portion of somebody's home equity. For 3,000 people, it should be $300,000 bail. Like, you need to like have her shaking in her boots while she's in there. But because she's old and because she's a woman, watch them be very gentle with her punishment. Like that, they're very gentle with her $50,000 bail. Like, you lying about grape and deletion?
Prosecutorial rock star. She strode into court with an air of confidence about it. She was qualified as an expert witness more than 500 times in criminal cases. And on the other hand, we know some things about this investigation that's going on, including her admission in November of 2023 that she deleted some DNA data in her testing process because she wanted to shortcut additional steps that would have been required. So on that hand, it's not a surprise.
And there's already been some evidence of cases being botched and some criminals being essentially given a free pass because the state can't trust what this DNA crime analyst did.
One of the cases she allegedly botched was the murder of Tamara Dean Harney's father.
When this trial started, we were confident the evidence would deliver a sentence of life in prison until CBI was called into question.
Tamara's dad, Roger Dean, was murdered 40 years ago. Just last week, the man accused of killing him got a much lighter sentence than usual because of Woods' alleged involvement in handling the case's DNA.
So with all this evidence against the DNA analyst, it seems like an open and shut case. But Missy Woods says no, she is not guilty.
What?
A big step today in the case against a former DNA scientist accused of intentionally manipulating lab results in more than 1,000 criminal cases across Colorado.
And Ms. Woods would be entering pleas of not guilty as to all of the counts.
Yvonne Missy Woods, the former forensic scientist with the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, is denying all wrongdoing. She's facing more than 100 felony charges, accused of tampering with DNA evidence in criminal cases throughout her nearly 30-year career with the agency.
Now listen, I understand she pled not guilty, but the evidence here was overwhelming. They had her dead to rights. They just had her dead to rights. So Missy Woods was looking at lifetime in prison, or you can make some type of deal. And obviously, she made a deal.
As Yvonne Missy Woods walked toward the courthouse Tuesday morning, something she'd done an untold number of times during 29 years with the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, she faced a day that would be unlike any other in her life.
Count 1, cybercrime. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
She uttered that word 3 more times. To perjury.
You're not guilty.
Guilty.
Attempting to influence a public official.
Guilty.
And forgery.
Guilty.
In providing the factual basis for the charges, prosecutor Darren Kafka laid out examples, including Woods having committed perjury in the 2014 murder trial of Ryan Hicks.
Ms. Woods was asked by counsel for Mr. Hicks whether her testimony had fully disclosed all of the DNA work she had completed in this case. Ms. Woods knowingly gave a materially false answer to this question while under oath.
Now, after pleading guilty, Missy Woods is going to face a judge September 8th, and that judge can give her anywhere between 8 years as the minimum and 16 years as the maximum. How much time do you think Missy Woods should get? Now, if you're asking me, I think a just sentence would be life in prison, and I'll tell you why. If she is falsifying evidence that's getting people locked away for life sentences, then I think it's only fair that she face that same punishment. But
I agree with Nate on this one. There's been some, Nate, that I haven't agreed with you on, but I understand you're thinking with a male rational brain. But on this one, I completely agree with you, Nate. I feel like she deserves life in prison. I will be interested in hearing what she gets. So we will be covering her again. But yeah, I just had to show y'all that. Like, can you believe it? That is the lady that literally said Kobe Bryant was like all up in that lady, you know? And thank God she didn't put all that, you know, love juice on Kobe, because remember, she pulled like 7 different DNAs out of that woman when she did do that DNA work on her. So yeah, gross, weird. I thought y'all would think that was kind of cool because it had Kobe Bryant in it and a woman who was a demon, basically lying on people to have her way. I'm very interested on what was her motivation to do this, because it's so strange. It's so random to do this to people that you don't know, you know, like I've never seen anything like this on TV. But I'm pretty sure now that this has happened, they're going to be using stuff like this on like Law and Order crime stories, you know.